Alright, y'all, welcome back to another edition of the Cozy Podcast. Here again with my co-host, Zaya, aka Steady Wave. You feel me? Got our man's Nuke Wavy in the back on the production. Today, we got a special guest in the building, a good friend of ours from high school up till now. You feel me? Someone we got to see, grow. Our friend Jamari. You feel me? Appreciate you for being on the podcast.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all.
So, started off, you feel me? Tell us a little bit about yourself and, your background and everything.
So, fun fact, I was born in Manhattan. You feel me? A lot of niggas don't know that, you know what I'm saying? I was born in Manhattan, lived there like a year, went to Elizabeth for a little while, went to, I think after Elizabeth is when I landed in Edison, but, you know what I'm saying? Just been my mom and my three brothers, and we just figuring shit out, you feel me? Getting through it.
Word. So, how's life been growing up, you feel me? Particularly in Edison, being that, you feel me? That's probably where you had the most time at, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I've lived in Edison longer than I lived anywhere else. And it's like I loved Edison, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of wish that I grew up around more black people, you know what I mean? Like, whenever I end up in, like, predominantly black neighborhoods, I'd be like, damn, it must have been so cool to, like, grow up around them or to, like, to go to HBCU or some shit like that after high school, you know what I mean? But I never really had that experience, you feel me? It's like, you know how Edison's, like, largely Indian, so, you know what I mean? It was always kind of weird being, like, not, because I didn't feel like I was the only black kid by any means. There was plenty of us, and we all sort of found each other, but it's like, it was, like, surrounding us was, like, mad Indian folk, you know what I mean? And it was cool. It's just, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like people didn't really understand, you feel me, us like that, you feel me? I feel like their motives and stuff aren't necessarily to make our lives any easier, you know what I'm saying? But, like, otherwise, I like it's peaceful, you feel me? Like, shit happened, but shit happens everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we got it relatively easy when it comes to, like, the neighborhood we live in. Everything is right next to each other, you feel me? Like, shit, it don't be longer than like an hour drive away for real, you know what I mean? I love that.
So, how did you feel growing up being, comfortable expressing yourself, Because everybody knows you as, the kid that was flipping and, doing gymnast type stuff just in the backyard. And really being self-taught with that aspect as well. So, like, talk about how, despite, like you said, not being around people of your skin color all the time in school and stuff, how did you still find a lane and, find, your security down the road?
I always felt like, you know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what it was? It was largely Jalen. Y'all know Jalen, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up with him, he always had this mindset that was like, I don't care what nobody think of me. I don't care what nobody got to say about what I would like to do. I'm going to do what I like to do, you know what I mean? And at points, it got, like, a lot sometimes, but, like, you know what I mean? That showed me, like, that I really don't have to care about what other people got to say about what I did. Because, you know what I'm saying? When I first started doing the flips and stuff like that, and I wasn't really good, it's not like people was like, yo, like, this guy again, you know what I'm saying? I'd be at the mini just throwing backflips off of the benches and whatnot, and like a lot of times people was like they thought that shit was weird, and it's like, that's cool, but like I was having fun, you know what I mean? And like I had fun with the journey. I had fun like making it grow and like seeing how good I could get at it, you feel me? And like I feel like that's been a really good lesson for my little brother, like now that he's coming up and everything like that, and he's getting into it and everything, like it's showing him. And I make sure I like tell him too, like, keep in mind, this is what hard work like does, you feel me? This is the product of your hard work. Every time he makes a video and he's real proud of himself and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, like that's the product of your hard work. You know what I'm saying? The other day we was in the car and he was like, oh, you know what I mean? Do you think I'm a prodigy? You know what I'm saying? He's like, somebody at school told me that I'm like a prodigy or something like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, could be, but I think you a hardworking dude, you feel me? I think that you put some real time and effort into perfecting your craft, and you starting to see the fruits of that, you feel me? Like, you 12 years old throwing stuff that I wasn't throwing till I was like 16, 17, 18 years old, you know what I mean? So that's why I like that shit, you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, and we always talk about, like, you taught me how to do my first front tuck. It was like in 7th grade.
And I remember that day vividly too, you know what I mean? I remember exactly where we was and everything.
Right, so, shit, now that you got a little brother and you done lived through your own path, talk a little bit about how you trying to be a positive influence on him and trying to have, well, if he isn't already, walking into your footsteps and whatnot.
The thing is about having somebody like look up to you is that you have to constantly be on your game. You got to constantly be on point. You feel me? I'm a big believer in be the person you needed growing up. You know what I'm saying? So like I try to be there for him in the ways that like I feel like I especially needed people there for me when I was his age. You know what I'm saying? From like girls to people at school talking about you to, you know what I'm saying, his wrestling, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I just do my best to not miss an opportunity to be there for him when like he need me to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so like I don't know, it'd be pressure at times. You feel me? Because I feel like I have less room to be a little human, but I also try to keep in his mind that it's okay to be human and it's okay to have days where shit's not going your way. You know what I mean? Or like you know what I mean, that struggling shit is normal. That kind of stuff is real important to me as a person. You know what I'm saying? And that's largely what I try to pass down to him. You know what I mean? It's like the introspective skills and stuff like that. I feel like that stuff doesn't get enough like credit. You feel me?
So what made you want to really focus in on that? Looking back at your own life,
I just felt like I was going through stuff as a kid, as we all did. You know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. Everybody got trauma. Everybody got a story to tell. You feel me? And I just felt like, I don't know, my mind just always was like, all right, this sucks now, but it's not going to suck forever. You know what I mean? Like, one day stuff is going to get better for me, and I just got to be patient until it does. Like, there's nothing I could do about what I'm going through right now, but God willing, one day it'll be better. And I feel like thinking like that and watching the years go by, it's been like, I see that, you know what I'm saying? I notice every year is a little bit better than the last. You know what I'm saying? I feel like adopting that mindset when I was younger, just sort of on my own, made it so that, like, as I got older, I naturally gravitated towards introspection, and I naturally gravitated towards, like, healing and stuff like that. You feel me? Like, your mind is the only place that you're going to be 100% of the time, so you got to make sure it's somewhere that you like to stay at. You know what I'm saying? And so...
That's fast, cool.
Feel me?
Yeah, for real.
Shit.
Talk about the power of the mind a little bit, man. What's your thoughts and perspectives on like how important mental stability is in your life?
I feel like mental stability is like such a broad spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can be a perfectly functional human, but still like have mad anxiety and have mad depression and stuff that makes it hard for you to get through your day. You know what I'm saying? But you still make it work. Because what choice do you have, right? You got to. You feel me? Like we can't take too much time. Yeah, you feel me? Because the clock's going to keep ticking, you feel me? Tomorrow's going to come, next week's going to come, next month's going to come. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you gotta take the time to deal with shit, but like understand that you may not always have the time to deal with all the shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you got to break it down piece by piece. You feel me? Yeah. Like, you may not have like come to peace with the major thing that keeps you up at night, but you could do little things to lessen the effects of the stresses that you deal with in like your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't always just be work. You feel me? You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You know?
So how do you try to, keep a balance with everything that you're dealing with in life and, staying sane with that being said?
I meditate, bro. I go outside when I can. Like, I don't want to say generic stuff because maybe it's not generic for everybody. Maybe there's a lot of people out there who really haven't found the value in that kind of stuff. But like growing up, I stayed in the woods, you know what I'm saying? Like I stayed by lakes. I love to hike. You feel me? I feel like there's mad power in nature. I feel like there's mad power in like being by yourself and meditating and shit like that. Like, I don't know, like do the things that make you feel good, and you'll find that like life isn't really not that bad, because I don't feel like everybody feels like their life is that bad, but life's not that bad if you take time to enjoy it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying? I like to when I'm feeling certain emotions, right? I don't know how I'm gonna explain this. When I feel certain emotions, like certain negative emotions, I try to like describe what it feels like. You feel me? Like, I feel like that takes away from some of the, like, let's say I'm like heartbroken, you know what I'm saying? And you know how sometimes if you're really heartbroken, you almost feel it, you know what I'm saying? I be trying to like think about what exactly does this feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I were to put this feeling into words, what would I say? And I feel like looking at it like that always kind of made it like sort of lessen the effects, you feel me?
Do you write it down or do you say it to yourself? Like,
I would just think it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm really just there, like, damn, like, I'm really fucking hurting right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll sit there and be like, all right, so what exactly does this hurt feel like? Like, if I could put this hurt into words, what the fuck would I say? And you pretty much never get anything coherent, but, like, it's taking your attention away from the pain that you feel, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I fuck with that. I used to do that shit when I got hurt, you know what I'm saying? I was always a rough kid. I was always skateboarding and jumping off of shit and all that crap, you know what I'm saying? So I stayed getting hurt. And if some shit was really hurting me, I'd really be like, all right, this pain almost feels like a swirling pain, like, you know what I'm saying? And
I know you're talking about, you feel like how shit. Yeah,
exactly. Like, it almost feels like you can feel the nerves, you know what I'm saying? The individual and shit, you feel me?
Yeah. So, with sports and, you know, being athletic as a kid growing up, what was the kind of sport or active activity that kind of, you know, fit you the best personality-wise and kind of helped you become more mentally secure with yourself?
That's a hard one because I did so much shit. And I did so much, like, unconventional shit. Like, I wasn't on the basketball court with everybody else. I wasn't playing football. Like, I was skateboarding and doing flips, and I wrestled, you know what I'm saying? And like those are always my main things. Like, I love combat sports, you feel me? I feel like combat sports did a lot for my mental health, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even about getting your aggression out or no crap like that. It was more like it was fun to learn the form. It was fun to get better and learn how to, like, read people and stuff like that. Like, I always thought that kind of stuff was cool. But if I were to say which sport impacted me the most, I would probably say, like, the flips and stuff, yo. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't really know what to call it. Feel me? Me and Roger talk about that all the time. My little brother. I don't really know what to call the flips. I literally just do it. Yeah, but it's like, but I don't look at it like tumbling in gymnastics because that's a certain form. You feel me? Like, you've seen how your sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's very technical and, like, her form is exact. I made my form up. I just throw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I went to Henderson's for a little while, they was helping me, master my full twists or whatever. And they was looking at me doing it, and they was like, how the fuck are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you yanking it like that? Like, it was so ugly to them, but it worked for me. I landed it, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just never really knew what to call it for real. But, like, I would always say that shit, it meant the most to me out of all of the other stuff that I do, next up being wrestling, because that meant a lot to me too. But, like, especially now passing it down to my brother and seeing what he's doing with it and everything, like, yeah, I'd say that's the one that really, like, touched me the most of all the sports. You feel me?
What made you, like, what was it that was within you that made you, you know, do that, though? Like, what brought you to actually, like, following through with, like, because I know kids at a young age, they try to flip and do cartwheels and stuff, but, like, everybody not successful, and even though, like, some people may be successful with doing the backflip one time or whatever, like, they don't go into, like, learning how to, you know, master their form or even learn new tricks and just be, you know, an amateur gymnast, you feel me? So what made you really want to do that?
You know what I really think it is, yo? I've realized earlier this year, you know what I'm saying? I think I just like to collect stuff. You feel me? Like, since I was a little boy, I like to collect Pokemon cards. I used to collect money, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally just collecting it just so I could watch the stack get bigger and watch the rubber band get bigger. Like, whenever I come across $1, I just collect it. And to this day, I got a big old coin bucket that I've had for years that I've been filling up, you know what I'm saying? I just like to collect shit. And I always looked at, like, the flipping and the skateboarding and shit like a collection. You feel me? Like, I worked hard to gain this backflip. I worked hard to gain this front flip. And now it's in my pocket. Now I can do it like it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? And that's like a collection to me. Like, even with skateboarding, I learned to kickflip. Bow, got that in the pocket. I got to pop shove it. Bow, got that in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? And, like, seeing what other people's collections look like and aspiring to make my collection look like theirs, it made me it was driving to me. It was exciting. I would go home and literally think about like, damn, like I can't wait for tomorrow so I can get back out there. Like I'm this fucking close to landing that full twist today. You feel me? Like, and then I'll go out the next day and still not land that shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. I like that. I like that challenge. You feel me? Like, I've been on my workout shit lately, and I've been looking at it like collecting muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at like the way my traps are developing, and then the way that like my calves are developing. It's like, all right, cool. I need to do a little bit more for that. I need to do a little bit more for that to build my collection. Feel me? Like, everybody's starting, they just start trying to bang out the bicep curls just to make their arms look big, but then you realize, bro, you need the shoulders too. Yeah. You need the triceps too. You need the forearms too. You need all that. So it's like, I don't know. I like that. You feel me?
Word. So, do you see yourself pursuing a future with that? Like trying to be a coach one day, trying to, you know, start your own club, whether it be in a community center or, you know, independently?
You know, it crossed my mind a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could I make money from this? You feel me? Because I feel like I do it enough. Excuse me. I do it enough to where I should be making some money off of it, right? You know what I mean? I've been doing it for years. It's just, I don't know. I never really, like, felt sturdy enough in it to really send it. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't really see myself, like who would I market it to? Because I'm not a gymnast. I don't have gymnast form. And usually the people who that would be marketed for would be like gymnastics people, you know what I'm saying? Like kids and stuff like that trying to get their form down. And I've never really studied the form. And I probably could if I really wanted to do all that. But like, I don't know. I just never really felt like that was my path, you know? And it's like, I love doing it and I love to teach. You feel me? I love to teach people to do this. Like my favorite thing in the world, getting somebody to land their first backflip. But like, I'm like, Dad, would I really charge somebody for that, though? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Spotting them for a grass backflip in my backyard, you know what I'm saying? Like, who about to come through and pay for that? What parent's going to sign off to let their kid? I mean, I could probably invest in equipment and all that stuff, so I don't know. But I don't know. I never really saw myself doing it for real, you know?
Yeah, I do, but it ain't nothing really too crazy. I mean, besides the flipping and shit, like, how do you feel, like, now that we older? Like, now that we about to be in our mid-20s, how do you feel about life? Like,
that's crazy.
Do you feel better? Like, do you feel more confident about life now, or when we were younger, do you feel better?
When I was younger, I almost didn't even believe that, like, we was really going to be adults one day, yo. Like, that shit's really crazy. You really adults and shit, yo.
Yeah, shit.
Like, I still can't believe it. And it's like, I'm here, I'm living it, so I need to just shut the fuck up and believe it. But it's like, it's crazy, like seeing people who you haven't seen in years. It's like, Dad, yo, my last memory of you was practically a child, you know what I mean? Like, time is really some shit. And it's like, I don't know, I'm feeling good about my future now that I have a path again. Feel me? At a point I had left school and I was like, all right, I hate school, not gonna go through with that, I'm gonna try to build something on my own. And I was really struggling to land something. The thing about me is I get a little anxious when I've gone too long without knowing exactly what's next. You feel me? Like, it just makes me uncomfortable. Like, I like stability. Yeah. So now that I got back in school and I know how I want to sort of navigate those next few steps in life, like, I've been feeling a little better as far as that goes. But goddamn, yo, when I was a kid, you feel me? All I cared about was what I'm doing today. You feel me? Like, who I'm about to go see, what I'm about to go get into, you know what I mean? How I'm about to spend the summer.
Hell yeah.
Feel me? It felt like it was gonna last forever, yo, and it just did not last forever. Feel me? It's cool though. Feel me?
So, how you felt about 2022? Well, how you been feeling about every year since 2020? Every year since
2020. You know, 2020 was actually a really good year for me. You feel me? Yeah, like I know it's terrible for everybody else, so I almost hate to say it, but like, yeah, this is a pretty good year for me, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a valid ass year. No work, no like school. You feel me? Everything was online. Everybody just outside riding bikes. I couldn't find a bike to save my life, so that kind of sucked. But eventually, I found one, and it was over. I stayed in trails and in the woods and just doing stuff on my day, like. You feel me? That was one of the first times I really got up and started working out regularly. It's because I had the time now. You know what I'm saying? I was literally bored. You feel me? So I was working out and shit. Feel me? People was getting unemployment money. I got my dog that year. Like, it was a pretty good year for me. You feel me? 2020. In 2021, it was regular. Shit was still pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I feel like 2021 wasn't really remarkable. Feel me? Like, anything cool happened in 2021?
I can't remember nothing significant.
I
I graduated college. But
Okay, yeah, I
I went on vacation for 3 months last year.
That's a long ass vacation.
Nah, yeah,
Where the fuck you go for 3 months?
Shit, I went to fucking, I went to North Carolina, Florida, California, Arkansas.
Oh, you was just bouncing around like you was doing
yeah.
like a tour. That's tough. I would love to do some shit like that, yo. For real.
What you got planned for next year? You got, or you just gonna keep doing what you gotta do and just stay down until you come up, or you doing anything else like extraordinary?
I mean, right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get myself out of the regular entry level jobs bracket and into like a salary job bracket. You know what I mean? Just something that I know is gonna crawl forward every year. You feel me? While I figure out what it is that I want to do to invest in myself, because I don't plan on working for nobody for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that happening for myself. But at the end of the day, I also recognize that time's going to go by, bro. You never know what's going to happen and what financial responsibilities you're going to find yourself having to take on. So I need to make sure that I'm in a position 10 years from now to say, like, all right, cool, at least I'm a this. And even if I'm not rich, even if I'm not doing nothing phenomenal with my money, like, at least I'm making enough to comfortably get by. You feel me? And that's why I'm on the road to being a teacher. You feel me? That's what I'm gonna start with, and I'm gonna just keep climbing that ladder until I think of something. You know, something's gonna come to me eventually. I'm gonna figure out what my niche is. You feel me? Somebody told me, like, everybody finds their niche, yo. You just gotta keep your eye out for it. And so,
I think we was talking about that yesterday.
Finding your niche.
Yeah. We was talking about it yesterday.
You feel me? Because it's like, something works for everybody, you feel me? Like, whether you're selling yourself, whether you're selling your personality, whether you're selling clothing, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, if your eyes are open to figuring it out, you're gonna find what it is, bro. Like, I mean, there's no rush to figure it all out right now. You feel me? You're gonna burn yourself out and you're gonna make yourself depressed and stuff like that when you put too much pressure on yourself to figure it out ASAP. You feel me? Like, always have a plan, but like, it's okay if you don't know exactly how the map is laid out for you. You feel me? So right now, I'm just trying to kind of aim the trajectory of my life to somewhere positive, bro. As long as I'm in a better spot than I was last year, then I'm cooling.
Yep.
So what made you want to fuck with being a teacher?
My mom's a teacher. That was like a lot of it. Feel me? She really wanted me to get into it. Not that necessarily like matters too much. It was like, I've seen what her path was like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I could see myself taking that on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to teach anything to, what's the word, arithmetic? I don't know. I want to teach gym, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I could be, I'm a good leader in that sense when, like, I could control the room a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like kids look up to me a lot, and I don't know, I love to show people stuff. I love to like guide people through workouts and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Workouts, and I love to teach people how to flip, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I would be a pretty cool gym teacher, you know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah, hopefully that shit could transition into you coaching.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You could coach, like, I don't know, depending on the grade level and stuff, as you get older, you start coaching wrestling since you were a part of that. Start coaching gymnastics if the school is available with that program, you know. You could just do different things with that. And even that route could lead you down to a certain path, down the road, coaching and whatnot.
And one thing about me is, like, I always knew that I wasn't meant to sit at a desk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be no typing employee, you feel me? I'm gonna fall asleep every day, I'm gonna get fired because I can't stay awake, you know what I'm saying? So that was another thing too, is like, I know teaching gym, I'm gonna be up on my feet, I'm gonna be exercising every day, I'm gonna be teaching kids to exercise every day. I feel like that'd be cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to stay youthful for a long time, you know what I'm saying?
How you feel about America sending hella money to Ukraine?
Sending hella money to Ukraine? Man, I feel like that's kind of wild given all the shit that we got going on in America as it is, yo. You feel me?
I
Like,
just seen that the Ukrainian president pulled up to the White House today.
what? How much money did they give to the Ukraine?
A lot. They done gave them over $1 trillion within
Over
the
$1
last
trillion.
year, bro.
That's crazy. And it's like, that means that money was just sitting there all this time.
It's like, and they giving them our money, like
Yeah.
American tax, like it's
Yeah.
That's just wild.
max, man.
How do you feel about the state of the world right now?
I feel like we've been in this weird, constant, like, Cold War-esque, you know what I mean? Like, energy. Like, I feel like all this Russia shit that's been going on and everything, and the propaganda, whether it's real or fake, like, I feel like everybody's mildly scared at all times that one day we just gonna get a alert on our phones that there's a missile in the, you know what I mean, vicinity.
Yeah.
You feel me? I remember when Trump was president, I was definitely thinking like that, yo. Every plane that flew by had me, like, ducking, you know what I'm saying? Used to hate that shit. And, you know, there's a lot going on in the world. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. You feel me? Because I was thinking about it. I saw a tweet the other day, and it was like a picture of what looked like some sort of, like, nuclear bomb apparatus, you know what I'm saying, meant to, like, shoot it at America or whatever. And they was like, Russia arms, you know what I mean, nuclear missile capable of hitting U.S. and Canada. And I'm just like,
all these scared tactics and shit.
yeah, and it's like, it's done by these Instagram pages that got mad followers, so that's credibility for a lot of people, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, having 100,000 followers, you see a page with 100,000 followers post some shit, you probably gonna believe it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you kind of think that it's, like, irresponsible to,
Not believe it. Yeah.
you feel me? Like, it would be fucked up of somebody with 200,000 followers to post some propaganda that they don't know is real or not and get everybody all up in arms, because that's what it's gonna do, you feel me? That's what it's meant to do. And so it's like, that shit is crazy. Social media is crazy, yo. Technology is fucking crazy. Like, that AI shit.
Yeah.
Y'all that AI picture thing yet?
Nah,
I ain't
haven't
do
done
that.
one yet. What is
The cartoons on.
Yeah, bro. Y'all saw mine when I posted them?
it? On what? Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah.
Everybody's
People
videos.
posting that shit.
Wait, AI cartoon, like they Bitmoji type looking shit?
It's like literally, bro, you send them a couple pictures and what's it called?
Oh, they make like a
They make, like, it looks just like you feel me? Swipe to
those
the right,
shit.
yeah,
I
that
did
shit.
see
You saw that shit?
Yeah, I did see these shit.
That shit is crazy,
Where
bro.
is this shit from?
It looks like vaguely like you know what I'm saying?
Where
Yeah.
is this shit from? Like who? Like, it's
I
one
don't
of
know,
them-
bro.
It's one of them pages that just be following you out of nowhere. And they
Nah.
do 3D art.
Niggas just started doing it, and then it was like monkey see, monkey do. Like, I saw somebody with one, and I thought it was cool, so I went and got one myself, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
And that shit just started spreading. But it's like, I think what they do is, like, they're running the pictures through some sort of AI algorithm, and it literally draws
Yeah.
you, yo. And I was just so taken aback by how well done it was. You know what I'm saying?
They taking, like, information doing that.
Oh, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Face scanning and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Son, I saw this one shit, bro, on Twitter. It was crazy, son. Like, it was like Elon Musk. He was there on the stage talking to all these folk about how there's this program out now that could replicate people's voices and really well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just talking into the mic, and then bow, he pressed the button. Now he sound like fucking Bow Wow, and like he talking, and it sounded exactly like that nigga. Like, switched the. It had like cartoon characters. It had political figures and shit like that. Like, that shit's dangerous.
Yeah, nah, they
And
definitely
they already
tap
got
in,
the
bro.
deep fake
It's
stuff.
dangerous. Yeah, yo.
Yeah, that shit's OD.
It's a lot.
And it's like, that's pictures that they doing that with now, bro. Imagine the future of that AI shit. And there's videos, and you can literally have a video of somebody doing or saying whatever.
Yeah, yeah. They already
Got shit like
They
that
got
kind of in
that type
play.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
they got all that shit.
I think what'd be crazy to me is, like, this is all what we know, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the shit we don't know.
Yeah, the shit you don't know.
That shit be blowing my mind, bro.
That's why I chose to start like looking into all the extra shit, because I just started to get called on and like started looking deeper and deeper into shit, because the more you look at something, the more like it make you question like what you actually looking at.
Yeah.
And once you actually start to get intrigued by it and be like, I want to find out a little bit more. It's like, first it can be like fake scary, but then you like, nah, I need to look even deeper. And the more and more you look, it's just gonna force you to think outside the box. And then like already, like when we were kids, we already used to think like outside the box and think wild as hell until somebody puts you back into that program and like, no, you tripping, no, you bugging. It can't be that. It can't be that. But it's like now looking at the way everything is, every time someone says something that's like far-fetched, a couple months later, a couple years later, they come back around and be like, oh no, this happened like this past week, or is it this past week or this week now they finally coming out saying that the CIA killed JFK.
Are they saying that?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like that's an official statement out there now. Oh shit.
On Twitter. So it's like, and I seen someone post something that was like, at this rate now, by 2060, they're gonna come out and say that 9/11 was an inside job.
That'd be wild.
Which people already know. I mean, I don't want to say people know, because there are people who don't know, who don't care about to look deeper into any of that shit. But if you just have that like feeling whenever you see something like, or a big event that's like a catastrophe, and then it, like you look at it like something not adding up, or you know what I'm saying, or you just around people that's constantly speaking about it in a different way than the norm, it make you start to question everything else that you see, especially once you start digging deeper into like certain ancient mystic teachings and just a whole lot of other things. It puts your whole mind in a different perspective of, you know, everything is not what it seems. Especially that's everywhere, but over here, especially in America, since the land that we live on is so sacred, you know, they fuck everything over. So we really got to use our mind to figure out what's really going on, because everything is theater. You know what I'm saying? This whole shit not real. So you ever saw the Truman Show?
Nah.
Oh, alright.
You gotta watch that.
I forget what the actor is.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
What's it on?
You could watch it on like Go Movies 1, 2, 3.
I think it's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. Where I got that.
So yeah, it's basically like like when you were a child, did you ever feel like there was something just looking at you all the time, or people that could be like just spying on you? Like sometimes I'd be in the bathroom and shit, and I'd just be feeling like
somebody watching,
looking at me, like somebody's watching me and shit. Like that's what that movie is about. Like he's just going through life, and then like he starts to meet people, and he starts to realize every time he get like deeper into a situation, there's always some fucking agents or something that come out of nowhere and fuck his whole vibe up. And like this one time he was walking, and he finally saw his dad type shit, and then like he saw his dad on a bus, and then this nigga tried to like confront his dad and shit, and a bunch of agents came out of nowhere and took him away type shit, and just on some crazy shit. And then it's like everything that he does in life is already controlled. So his wife, his job, everybody in his city, all of that shit was already in the game. Like everyone.
Like it's pre-programmed.
Yeah, everyone's pre-programmed. The sand was fake. Everything was fake. Now that movie is an exaggeration, you know, obviously, but you know the movies don't tell no lies. The movies is, you know, where you got to learn from, because you know the world. I don't want to say the world, but our subconscious mind is ran by symbols and repetition. So it's like the more that we hear a song in the car, even if it's ass, we're gonna fuck with it because we're constantly hearing it. Symbols, stop signs, certain shit like that. You know, that's what our subconscious is ran off of. So that's where we get programmed a lot of times without realizing it. The TV shows, all of that shit. Like for example, people in foreign countries have such a, I want to say, like a negative outlook on America because of what they put on TV, especially about with black people. You know, they constantly seeing fucking Tyler Perry and shit like that, so they think that's all how we are over here. You know, so. But yeah, this is definitely a lot.
It's crazy, yo. The media is like some powerful shit, yo. Like if you go to like Japan and ask them like to do like a black man impression or some shit, they probably gonna like start waving a gun around or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like you only get what you're exposed to for real, yo. Shit's wild.
That's why they change it like that.
So like you ever think about like North Korea and shit, and how like Kim Jong-un right now, how Kim Jong-un is like, he literally controls what these people watch, and it's pretty much all shit about him and the history of North Korea.
Programming, and then
literally programming his people.
And then they sit back and talk shit on America, which I'm not saying that America can't be talked shit on, because we definitely talk a lot of
deserve
shit
it, yeah.
We like in last place out of everybody when you think about it. But
you guys even seen the guy that they traded Brittany Griner for?
Yo, that shit was crazy. They called him like the Merchant of Death or some shit.
Yeah, but he came out and said that he felt sorry for Americans based off of like living conditions and just where America is at right now. He said that it was a whole interview of him saying that he's remorseful for America and stuff like that.
That's because they all in cahoots together.
Yeah.
They all fuck with each other, and he's an agent. So he, just like Brittany Griner is an agent. You cannot be an agent without, like, who are you? How important are you to our country that they traded you in for an armed dealer?
That's
why. You must
wild.
really have some big significance to this country, for them. And plus you were saying fuck America, this, that, and the third, and they still brought you back over here. It's deeper than what the people care about. They don't care about what we care about. Who really cares about Brittany Griner? Like,
like I didn't know who that was before the
so
thing.
She's clearly someone big behind the scenes. She's clearly keeping something going on. And she was like I was saying, like she was like one of the biggest people in WNBA when we were younger. That was at one point, that was the only WNBA player I knew up until like maybe a couple years ago. Honestly, high school, once I started to see that it was more, people that was interested in it. But at first, that was the first one I knew. So it's like, I feel like I have my own, feelings about that whole shit. But she's definitely someone important to this whole thing.
Yeah.
That's not being talked about.
Because they left an American, I think, soldier or something over there that's still in Russia. And when I was looking at this shit, some people were like, "Oh, he was talking shit about America, or he did something with America." I guess he sold out to the government or whatever. But it's like Brittany Griner was saying fuck America and all this other shit. So it's like it's the same thing.
You talking about Edward Snowden?
Is that his name?
Maybe.
But
He like.
if it's Edward Snowden, he like.
But I thought one of them actually like one of the countries kept them like.
I think he had to. No, I think they like. I think Edward Snowden's on the run or some shit like that.
So it's not him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's him.
It's a different thing.
He's a whistleblower, right?
Yeah. That's what it was, right?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of random shit going on in the world. Just gotta stay aware, spiritually, mentally.
So how you feel about Trump?
How I feel about Trump. I feel like at this point, you know what I'm saying? One, I feel like he's running an underground coup. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's this guy. He got kicked off of Twitter. He swears up and down that he's gonna run again for the next presidency. And I low-key feel like if he does, unless somebody substantial comes out the woodwork, he's gonna win, bro. Because
the last president.
Yo, he still is giving like big speeches and amassing huge crowds. This man's like 80 years old. You said what?
Yeah, he already enter it. Yeah,
he's that's what I'm saying. I feel like this time they're not gonna let him lose twice.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I feel like it almost was mapped out so that he had to lose once and then come back with more of a force because they're not gonna let him lose twice. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he plays the game better than any other president that I've been alive for. Like,
Yeah.
It makes it more entertaining. It makes the politics more entertaining. He gives them more stuff to talk about. I feel like every other president, you have to dive deep into really figuring out how shitty they were.
Right.
With Trump, it's almost like he's shitty already, but it's like he says so much and does so much more shit to where it's kind of like if you think that shit is real, he makes it hard for you to really like say he's a bad president without trying to say like what you say about every other white president, you're racist, or whatever. Because you could say the same shit about Biden, but then you also say, oh, they're pedophiles and shit. But not too many people care about any of that or know anything about that. So it's like at that point they're gonna be like
Yeah.
Right.
In reality, they all playing the same game. So it's like it's really just about which one keep the show going on longer. And I feel like Trump does the job better for like the system paradigm of America because he's in cahoots with he was cool with Russia, and then you see they took him out on purpose, put Biden in on purpose so she could get fucked up between America and Russia. And then as that happened, we had all the other shit going on. Then we cool with Ukraine, they're not cool with Ukraine. So it was almost like it was already set up that way.
And now Trump gonna come in trying to fight.
He's gonna help it. He's gonna be the daddy for everybody, and you know what I'm saying, everything gonna be Gucci for the time being, So
That's just crazy.
You can really see ahead with all of that shit too. Like,
and then he pardons rappers and shit. So it's like,
and the tide done turned now where like it's a lot of black people saying, man, Trump 2024 and shit. So
yeah, I feel like he's doing a real good job like in this social media era.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like,
and even it's like I don't know. It's between people waking up to the fact that both parties are tied to the same overhead and people just not give it a fuck anymore, really.
Yeah.
like people just stopped giving a fuck about the next person's opinion when it came to politics. Because I remember back when politics wasn't supposed to be even talked about for real, and now it's like everybody's just openly talking about who they support and don't give a fuck. You feel me?
That's crazy. Remember in elementary school, everybody used to tell us not to tell who their parents was voting for and shit like that. And that's all anybody talk about anymore.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. You know
now it's really representing social status and shit like that now. Shit getting crazier.
It's getting crazy, yo.
But
for real.
I don't know. I feel like he said, Trump gonna win. Unless you said
somebody substantial comes out.
Yeah.
What makes you say that, though? That was an interesting statement.
I just don't feel like there's no one else, like no other mayors, congressmen, or anyone else that's in the cut, or anyone else that has any type of firepower to fuck with the way that he's coming. Biden truly didn't either, but they needed to put him in office to prove how stupid we are as a nation.
Yeah.
You know, because even if voting does matter or doesn't matter, because I already feel like they don't care about what we have to say. They don't care about it. Like we could go to the what's the name right now, Edison, and tell them like, oh, okay, we need shit over here. Powder.
Yeah.
They're not gonna care. They already don't even really honestly consider Powder's part of, you know what I'm saying, Edison.
Yeah.
So it's like they consider it its own private entity at the, and then on that they stole all of their land over there. You know what I'm saying? All of the, you know. So it's like they don't care who you about to go and check a vote for, but they're doing that to see where your head is at.
Right.
They want to see where your head is at. And if you really think about it, majority of the black community that gets linked with poverty are Democratic ran communities, not in the communities where they're more rich and white is the Republican parties, which is set up that way because majority of people in the Democratic Party, from what we see on television, are black. And black people majority run in Democrat Party, and vice versa. White people majorly run in the Republican Party. So it's like they did that on purpose right there. For whatever reasons behind the scenes why they do that, I'm not too sure. I don't know what the meaning
it's just more division.
Democrat, you know what I'm saying, is. But you know, that's how they do it right there. So it's like they just want to see where niggas' heads is at, because it's like, well, Biden and Trump, the thing that was going on, they was saying take the lesser out of the two evils, which makes honestly no sense because they're both evil. So in that sense, you should just stay neutral and see what happens. I mean, that's how I felt, because I'm not registered to vote, and I will never register myself to vote because I just don't feel comfortable with all that I know going out and voting for any of those people, because I know they don't have no real interest in my own life. And honestly, to be honest, none of those people actually directly influence my life. If you want to be honest, your governor of your state has more power than the president of the country. So what Phil Murphy has to say about us really has more power over what the fuck Trump is going to say. You know, that's why, like, federally weed is still not legal, but in Jersey, New York, Boston, certain states it's legal. So it's like, it really is, it's all just a game for real. It's not real. Like, none of that shit is real as like what they, you know what I'm saying, what they try to make it seem like on television. Because even then, like, you could win the election, you could get a certain type of amount of votes, but it's still up to electoral votes, right?
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. So it's like, even when George Bush won in 01 or whatever fuck, you know,
that whatever year,
right? The other dude was really supposed to win, but Bush had more of the whatever fucking votes, the important
electoral votes.
Yeah, so they put him in office instead. So it's like, it really don't matter what anyone has to say. It's really up to the crib, the house, and they're gonna pick who they feel like is best for what they gotta do. And they already have this planned years ahead, like years ahead. Like, what is it? One of the Rothschilds, he has a video, well, not a video, but you could find information like on YouTube or whatever. One of the Rothschilds, I think it's David Rockefeller. He has a book basically where he talks about how they have no real interest in the betterment of the American people. The Rothschilds is just one of the 13 royal family, quote unquote, royal bloodlines.
Which, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, they just own like the central banking systems and all of that shit. So
yeah, I hear that the queen is like a figurehead essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even do anything. Like, there's people significantly more powerful than them working for them technically. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, yo. Cause it's like everybody, they're gonna see the king and queen, they're gonna think like the olden days when what the king and queen said meant everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they even make any sort of executive orders for real?
They don't. No, none of these people do.
No, she did do though. One of the queens, I guess the most recent queen or whatever.
Just passed away.
Yeah, she fucking got Snoop Dogg into.
We were just watching that.
You saw the fucking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the 85 South. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That shit's crazy.
So
So it's like, oh, that's the power of the queen, huh? She gets Snoop Dogg in the fucking England.
Yeah.
Like shit.
what's your? You was
Nah,
I was about to say. I don't know if you touched on this a little bit, but what's your mindset going into 2023 and moving forward?
I'm really taking it a year at a time, yo. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like I could buckle down in a lot of ways. So I think that's really what I want to try to develop over this course of my 2023. You feel me? Like, I want to kind of discipline myself in a lot of ways. You feel me? I want to get better with money, and I want to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I've spent this year working on my mental health and working on, like, my spiritual health and stuff like that. And I feel like now that I've kind of gotten all of that stuff pretty lined up, like, I feel like I'm in a really good space physically. I feel like I give off a very pleasant aura and stuff like that. I'm ready to start grabbing my, like, actual trajectory of my life by the horns, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to start, like, doing shit outside of what I have to do for the sake of where I want to be. So I think that's, like, what I want to kind of center my 2023 around. You feel me?
Dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah, dude.
That's what's up.
Now I feel like,
What was you about to say?
I'm gonna say now I feel like maintaining my my introspective health, my, you know what I'm saying, self-love and worth and all that not but all that stuff, you know what I'm saying. Now that's sort of effortless now. It's second nature because I spent this year, I didn't do it on purpose. It's just kind of how it played out for me, but I sort of took this year to really, like, hone in on that stuff. So it's just, now my mind is naturally going to go in that direction. So yeah, now I'm ready to take it outside of me. You feel me?
Word. You got any last words that you want the people to know about you? Or, any last words of wisdom that you want to give to the people?
Take care of yourselves, man. Like, real shit. Like, do the things that you feel like you need to do for yourself. Do the things that make you happy. Do the things that you see yourself doing, you know what I mean? Don't spend too much time letting the negatives eat you alive, because they will. You know what I'm saying? You spend your whole life dwelling on the things that hurt you, bro. You'll always live in that year where that thing hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, your mind's the only place you're going to be 100% of the time, so you want to make sure that's a place you're happy staying in, for real. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people, they spread their bitterness into the world because they haven't conquered their bitterness. And misery loves company. And so you find yourself spreading your misery to other people because you don't know what else to do with it. You feel me? Like, it's already filled to the brim in your head. Like, you might as well spread it elsewhere, you know what I mean? That's why I encounter a lot of people in my day-to-day, and they really don't be pleasant. You know what I mean? Especially serving. Yeah, real shit. Like, you get a lot of assholes, you know what I mean? You're going to run into assholes to the day you die.
The mind state right now of people is
Yeah.
terrible.
And I just feel like when shit like that happens, I don't like let it bother me too much, because I just accept that, all right, cool, they're probably battling something, you know what I'm saying? Like, this person's probably going through this that I don't know about, and they brought it with them to this interaction that I'm having with them, and that's the reason why they're being this way. And so I let that rock, you know what I mean? Like, I understand. I'm not going to let that take away from me and my aura. You feel me? I just kind of take those people as they come, let them go, because they're always going to do that. Feel me? So take care of yourselves.
The people, your social media and everything.
Just my name, Jamari.Lake, on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter, nothing like that for real, but Jamari.Lake on Instagram.
Well, I appreciate you tuning in, joining us on today's podcast. You
What's
feel me?
that?
Wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and everything.
I appreciate that.
And hopefully we get you on another podcast sometime soon, man.
Most definitely, yo. Whenever y'all ready, I appreciate that. I was nervous as hell coming into it, but like it was kind of cool. So
Word. But yeah, thank you, man, for real.
Thank y'all.